Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the council meeting for City Council, City of Havre for July 21st, 2025. The current time is 7:02. I am Jim Ringsocker, City Council President. I'll be acting mayor this evening as the mayor is out of town. All right, so we have roll call. Councilmember Boyer.
Here.
Councilmember Shanegas.
Here.
Councilmember Boker. Councilmember Jones.
Here.
And Councilmember Ellis.
Present.
We do have a quorum. Everybody please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. If everybody please remain standing, I'll have, Pastor Robin Stokes from Ames United Methodist.
Good evening, everyone. In 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says, pray without ceasing. This scripture encourages us to maintain a constant attitude of prayer rather than just at a specific time. We know that prayer is key. Let us pray. God of the heavens, creator of the earth, lover of all people, we come this evening to say thank you. Thank you for what you have done for us, and thank you for what you're doing. And we thank you for not answering some prayers that you knew were not worthy of us, because there are times when you are protecting us. And we have no idea of that. And for that, we thank you. Forgive us, Lord, for those moments we've allowed envy, anger, prejudice to enter our hearts, but you keep loving us anyhow. Thank you. Guide us, Lord, from falsehoods to truths. Move us from wartime to peacetime. Direct our paths from division to unity, and free us from holding grudges against each other. Allow us into your presence and open us to your true peace. Help us to understand that we are not each other's enemy, Satan is, and we must stand together as one. We thank you that even with our troubled hearts, our pain, our suffering, our grief from loss, and our fear, we can trust in you and lean on your word. We pray for our governments, our leaders, our teachers, our clergy, our families, our friends, our foes, our aid workers, medical personnel. And so we come today to pray for each other. Help us to grow in faith, knowing that we have the power to walk in the path of righteousness, suited in the full armor of you. Let no weapon formed against us prosper. Lord, we pray for guidance to be the reflection of you, and for those who don't know you will come to know you too, so they can receive your gift of peace and strength in troubled times. We pray for fortitude not to let go of hope, and to embrace the joys of this world, and to continue to grow in the image you have created for us, to be kind, humble, compassionate, understanding, and forgiving. And like Jesus, not be unwavering in our faith in you, Lord. We pray for a vision like Jesus, without biases, a vision of unconditional love that opens new pathways in relationships. No, we do not have the power to stop the rain or the power to control the air temperature, but let us not forget we have the power of prayer, anywhere, anytime, on our knees, with humble hearts. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Thank you, O Lord, for hearing our prayers that we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Ms. Stokes, thank you so much for that beautiful prayer. All right. Next on the agenda, we have approval of minutes. City Council meeting minutes, July 7th, 2025. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilmember Jones, seconded by Councilmember Shanegas. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, now we come to the point on the agenda where we receive comments from citizens. We are limiting now comments to 3 minutes just for time's sake. If you did submit 2 forms, you're still only limited to 3 minutes total. That's something we got away from a couple times. We were just implementing that, but I was asked to specifically state that 3 minutes. And please keep your comments at 3 minutes. We need to try to limit as much as we can so we can get to legislation. First up, if you did submit a form, I'll call you first, and then afterwards I'll ask if anybody has any other comments. So first I have Julie Runke.
Okay, I'm Julie Runke, 311D Redhead Way, and over on the chair is Owen. If you remember, Owen ran for city dog in the recent election, and it was really just to have fun, but also we just wanted to showcase all the great things about Havre Grace. And we thought it was a really funny way to do it. So as part of his campaign, Owen worked with the construction crew downtown, and he had some really cool pictures with his little yellow hard hat. He worked with the DPW teams, he visited shops, the museums, the parks, he participated in Pyrex Fest, he was part of Defenders Day, and he helped out the Easter Bunny at one of the shops. We even did a couple PSAs. We had him in his little life vest saying, talking about boating safe. And then after he ran into a fisherman's hook that had been left behind, he did a little post about clean up after yourself, fisherman. But he put it all on his Facebook page, and it got to be very, very popular. He had an awful lot of friends, and he was getting shared a lot, and it was getting a lot of really interesting conversations. So then we decided that when it got closer to election, we would have his friends vote for him by making a donation to a fundraiser. So Owen wanted to support the police dogs. He told me he wanted to take care of the police dogs because he knew they're the real dogs of the city. So we called Chief Crass, and he recommended the AKC Reunite Canine Fund. And this is a fund, a national fund, but it gives money to the local police departments to acquire dogs, and is in fact how we got Canine Miko here in Havre Grace. So he wanted us to help support that. We did set up the fundraiser. When you do a Facebook fundraiser, you have to use a real legitimate nonprofit organization, so we went with the Havre Grace Alliance, and they were really good about helping us out collecting the money. And in the end, Owen raised $609, and that was provided to the AKC in the name of the Havre Grace Police Department. And I've given Chief Crass all the paperwork for his files. And beside that, I just wanted to say thank you for having a little bit of fun and let you know that Owen is available for any tasks that you might need from the city dog.
Outstanding. How much did you say you raised?
$609.
Outstanding. Very cool.
For-
Good job, Owen. All right, next up we have Mr. Chip Place.
Good evening, Mr. Council President, council members, senior staff. My name is Chip Place, 301 Cigar Loop. I'm here tonight once again to speak in opposition to proposed ordinance 1193. To be very clear, this ordinance changes the city's tree protection laws from protecting trees of 6 inches in diameter to 30 inches in diameter. One of the purported purposes of this ordinance is to conform Section 102 of the City Code with the State Forest Conservation Law, which is Chapter 81 under the City Code. But Chapter 102, Landscape Sustainable, is very different from the State Forest Law. This is added protection that the city provides to our trees, our Tree City trees, that the state law does not provide. And in fact, it really ends up being in conflict with the state law because the state law also protects trees that are 30 inches in diameter. They refer to those as specimen trees, but they have very high, a list of criteria before you can take down a 30-inch tree. But this ordinance provides the same standard 30 inches without that criteria for the planning director to waive. Another purported purpose of this ordinance is to make it easier to redevelop properties on Route 40, which don't have a lot of trees, by the way. But again, the planning director under the current ordinance already has the discretion to allow removal of trees over 6 inches if proper justification is provided. So there's really no reason for that added protection there. Instead, this really opens up all the greenfield properties in town, including many that are currently before the city, for further forest clearing and other clearing. And I'll just point out to you that in Bully Rock alone, there was 568 acres of forest and 409 acres are cleared under the Bully Rock Forest Conservation Plan. And it's not just forest that is can be removed, but particularly sensitive landscapes. As I said before, we already lost the alley of trees that frame the Georgian Mansion at Bully Rock. There's also the hedgerow along Bully Rock Parkway. There's a grove of trees along Blenheim Run up to the golf course. None of these trees are over 30 inches, but they're very valuable. And finally, the Forest Conservation Plan calls for further enforcement of both the forest conservation and the landscape ordinance, and looking for new mechanisms to protect the environment. It certainly doesn't call for a dilution of those ordinances. So I would urge you to vote against Ordinance 1193. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, next up on the same topic, we have Mr. Christopher Wolf. Bye, Owen. I apologize. Previous people who spoke, we know their addresses and stuff. I'm supposed to ask you for your name and address.
Oh, no problem. I'm Christopher Wolf, 2019 Laurie Lane.
Okay,
Thank you, City Council. I'm here to comment on Ordinance 1193, amending Chapter 102 of the City Code. I have serious concerns that removing language in paragraph A, which protects mature trees over 6 inches in caliper, will lead to unnecessary clearing of forested areas. It appears that this change seeks to align Chapter 102 to Chapter 81's State Forest Conservation Law for consistency. However, I believe that Havre de Grace providing additional protections beyond the minimum required by state law demonstrates for our residents the city's commitment to the health of the local ecosystem. Understanding the stated need to encourage development along the Route 40 corridor, I still believe that our existing practice of review by the planning department for trees over 6 inches in caliper is critical, ensuring that we are meeting the vision outlined in the city's comprehensive plan. The proposed amendments send a message to residents that we are instead weakening our tree protections. I would like to strongly encourage council to keep the existing language protecting trees over 6 inches in diameter in Chapter 102. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, next up I have two here from Mr. Kirk D. Smith.
Separate topics, indulge me. Kirk Smith, 840 Otsego Street, Havre de Grace, Maryland. I'm going to start with the most important, in my opinion, and that is commentary on Mr. Randy Craig. Randy Craig and I are different, but we're the same in some aspects. We're both retired veterans, or we're both veterans. He used to sit up there, and I used to face off against him, as some of you older council members will know, especially when it comes to green things. We had different opinions. We didn't always agree on things, but we both chatted about it civilly. It's important to remember that differences in a community enriches perspectives, leading to a more robust and innovative solution. Randy Craig is different. He's going to be different on the Planning Commission, and it's going to lead to our city being better equipped to handle changes and challenges, and strengthens the decision-making that the council gets from the Planning Commission. So I would encourage you to vote for Mr. Craig and make it an affirmative. I think he'll be a great addition. Moving on, I submitted some documents today. It was I'm not sure where we stand on Ordinance 1193 or where you all at. I've been trying to stay out of it because I am the Lorax around these parts. I speak for the trees, but it's important that we know how to measure trees so that we get some accuracy. And they actually make tree calipers, which look like just regular metal calipers. You get them for smaller trees for as little as $24, up to the expensive ones that do diameter for you, and ultrasounds to measure, just how wide the tree is. And they can run you upwards of $1,100. But it's important to note that for smaller caliber trees, like stuff that we've been planting lately from corals, you should measure 6 or 12 inches, depending on whether it's 2 or 4 inch caliper. And for the bigger trees, it's specific to remember that breast height is not an accurate measurement. Councilmember Ringsocker and I do not see eye to eye because he's much taller than I am. Therefore, 4 foot 6 inches for bigger trees is where you should measure. If the tree is out on a burrow right there, you go just above it. If the tree is abnormal, you take 2 measurements. Any questions on that? I've submitted this document to Dr. Rich, and I believe he's already forwarded it to DPW and Planning so that they can use it for their assessments of what developers and people are doing. Lastly, on your deck, on the dais, is not the biggest garlic of the year, but it is a garlic. So by supporting the green team, you guys did well, especially on the food waste composting program, because I get my stuff from Veterans Compost to reinforce all of my raised beds, and that's why that garlic grows so big. Not to mention the fact that I'm very selective in my planting. So what you can do with that is you can eat it, or you can plant it and have 7 more just like it next year. Thank you so much.
Did you plant it in October?
Yes, October 16th. About 4 inches because I have very loose soil, and it's spaghetti stuff. If you use the raised bed gardening mix from Veteran Compost, I'm not trying to be an advertiser for them, you can actually go just below the soil, and it'll send up shoots as the roots come out the bottom. But for our zone 7B here in Havre de Grace, those shoots should be fine. If you get a little nervous, just pile some leaves around them and you'll be fine throughout the winter. It's important to keep the ground friable because at that point your roots keep growing even if the shoots don't. That gives you stronger, bigger garlics in the spring and early summer to harvest. I have a whole write-up on this. I'll send it to you, Cassie.
Thank you, Mr.
Or
Smith.
council member.
Thank you, sir. Now, that's all the pre-filled out forms we have for this evening. Do we have anybody else in the audience who would like to speak on a city matter or anything on the agenda? Sir. Please give me your name and address, sir.
Good evening. I'm Christopher Ward, 119 Hutchins Court in Bayview Estates. I'm with the community board up there, and I'm here representing them. We've been working pretty hard up there to renew our community, new signage. We're working really hard. My colleague Jackie has been there constantly trying to bring it up, and we were looking for some support from the city by parking. It's a municipal competence, parking is. We've been running big equipment up into our community park, and we wanted to have an area of Mallard Court right in front of the lane going up into the park designated no parking so that we can have access, because we've tried to talk to the homeowners and they seem to not be cooperating. So our community board decided that the best way forward is to designate a section right in front of our lane going up to the park as no parking. So that's why I came down tonight to make a request to the city council that be done. I have reached out to Havre de Grace Planning Department, and I thought I'd follow that up with a request to the council. So
All right,
that's
I
why.
can have Mr. Ritchie, if you can reach out to him this week, if you provide us with the phone number, he'll give you the card.
Great, thank you.
We actually wanted to reach out to you anyways. There was an issue that I had brought up at our agenda meeting on Monday. I too live in Bayview Estates.
Yes, I know.
Thank you for not sending me any letters.
I did send you a letter, but it
I
was
promise
everybody
the
else.
boat will move. I just parked it.
Yeah.
At the top, the sign, the new signs, I love the new signs. I hated the old ones because they looked like tombstones.
Yep.
But I have a little issue with the higher one, not on.
Go forth.
On Go Forth, thank you. I was gonna say Heather, I was like, wait, that's not Heather. It's almost too far forward, I can't see the traffic coming up the hill. And I'm not sure if it falls within the city sign code, because it might be too close to the curb.
We got a permit from the city, and they gave us and Jackie's sitting here working with it. It was she and I that worked on the signs. We designed them, got the community involved, and got them put in. And we went to get the permit, and the city told us where to put them, where to locate them, because it had to be within within 3 feet of the sidewalk and what have you. So we didn't decide where to put those signs.
I understand.
We were told where to put those signs, and they're cemented into the ground now.
I guess we're not moving them then, huh?
No, we're not.
Well, I just wanted to comment that how beautiful they do look. You guys did a fabulous job on it. Thank you.
We're working hard. Our playground was removed over the weekend. We're going to be putting in a new playground. We're trying to put together a community park up there. New benches. We just put in some new picnic tables. We really want to make it a community. We're going to have 2 community events a year now, one at Halloween, one at Easter time. Our first one was a real success. I really feel like things are coming together. Half the people love it, half the people don't. But things are really improving, and as part of that, to bring it back to why I'm standing here, we had to bring in huge dump trucks and what have you to remove the old playground equipment, and they had to literally drive up and around, up on the sidewalk and maneuver around, and it was like, this is crazy. And now we're going to have to bring in the same equipment to put the new playground in. So it would be a huge help to, because it is a lane, and our landscaping people go back up in there with their vehicles. So, it really should have been no parking there anyway, but you'll live and you'll learn. But anyway, thank you very
Appreciate it,
much.
sir. We'll reach out to you.
Thank you.
Or you reach out to Mr. Ritchie, that is, give you the card.
Thank you.
Do I have anybody else from the audience who'd like to speak? Nope. All right. My wife said no, she does not want to say anything. All right, moving on. Oh, council, do you have any other comments? Okay. Next on the agenda, we have appointments. And we have several appointments this evening. I'm going to ask for, if there are no objections, council, I'd like to do this by consent calendar, and I will read all the names, and then if anybody would like to say anything, we can make comments after I read all the names for appointment or reappointment. Does that work? All right. So, for appointments this evening, for a reappointment, Board of Appeals, we have Jeffrey Carhart. Ethics Commission, we have John Carreri. Former Mayor John Carreri for reappointment. Independence Day Commission, we have Liz Clark for appointment, and Robert Furtros for appointment. Planning Commission, we have Randolph Craig for appointment as a full member. Street and Traffic Safety Advisory Board, Annette White for reappointment. Tourism Advisory Board, we have Jeff Andrews for reappointment. And Water and Sewer Commission, we have Mr. Rodney Swam for reappointment. Council, do you have any comments on these members which I've read? Yes.
Thank you. I would like to comment on behalf of Liz Clark and her appointment to the Independence Day Commission. I am thankful that she started off her volunteering by helping us provide members to hold the banners. We were short of volunteers, and she stepped up, so I know she's going to be a wonderful addition. So thank you very much. And I look forward to meeting Robert Furtus. I hope I said that correctly. And as we definitely need many hands, and it'll be great. Thank you very much.
Anything else, Council? Well, I will comment on my commissions. The Ethics Commission, Mr. John Carreri, former Mayor of Havre de Grace, a wonderful man. If you guys know John, he sat in both as Council President and as Mayor of the City of Havre de Grace. Great guy, and he's the chair of the Ethics Commission. I can't recommend him higher. Water and Sewer Commission, Mr. Rodney Swam. I just found out the other day your first name was James, so I didn't even know that. So James Rodney Swam. Rodney's a good friend, been a good friend for many years, and he's also a wonderful man, very good at what he does with the Water and Sewer Commission. He does a lot of work for the city as well, helping us out with the electrical stuff when we need it, and lighting, stuff like that. Whenever we need Rodney, he's always on call, and he's very astute when it comes to the Water and Sewer Commission. Which is not my commission here, the Planning Commission, Mr. Randolph Craig, also a good friend, former council member, council president of the city of Havre. Very smart man. It was told to me that between him and Jim Miller, there's a debate over who knows city code, zoning code more. So he's going to be an excellent addition to the City Planning Commission. So thank you, council. We'll ask for a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second?
All right, we have moved by Councilmember Boyer, seconded by Councilmember Shenegas. All those in favor to accept all the appointments and reappointments by consent, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, thank you so much. Now, we have some commissions that need swearing in and others that don't. The only one this evening that we read is the oath of office for the Planning Commission, and that would be Mr. Randolph Craig. Sir, if you please come up. Councilmember Jones, please join me in the well. See you, my friend. All right, Mr. Craig, you're going to do repeat after me and then say your name, and then follow along with me again. I do solemnly swear that I will fulfill the requirement of the office I'm about to assume. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland. Support the Constitution and laws thereof. That I will faithfully and impartially, without fear of favor or prejudice, discharge the duties as a member of the Planning Commission for the city of Havre to the best of my ability. Congratulations. Thank you. Beautiful day. And join me over here.
Good luck with the rest of your meeting.
All right, moving right along. We got that all taken care of. We have no recognitions this evening. We have no proclamations. Next up, we have a presentations for the Historic Preservation Commission Beautification Awards.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. I want you guys. Okay, this year we're giving one presentation to 613 North Stoke Street. That would be John Canolis and Laura Kozak. Are they in the audience? Yes, come on up. Come on up. Yes, it's your house. Yes. Since they bought this house, I mean, it was nice looking when they bought it, but they have really gone the extra step since they bought it to make it gorgeous. Look at all the pots of plants and stuff. They have really worked in the overtime here, making it beautiful. So we're very proud this year to give our 2025 Annual Beautification Award to their home at 613 North Stoke Street. We give this award to houses that are not perfectly restored to historic standards as known by the United States government and local governments. We give this to people who have really made an effort to make our town, Havre de Grace, lovely and beautiful. So I would like to congratulate them. Whoops, there they are.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to say a few words about the work that you've done on your house? Sure. Okay.
So I just wanted to thank you and the committee for nominating us. We have a great love of gardening and all things nature. My husband leads local bird walks and works a lot with the neighbors to increase the beauty of their homes. So this was such a surprise to us when she came and presented it. I didn't even know there was such an award. So it was such a wonderful surprise, and I just wanted to say thank you very much.
Yes, so usually the mayor comes forth and gives a little.
I do have something here for you.
Yes, Dr. Rinchie is
I have a
holding
question
something.
real quick. What did, the American flag, you have, is it on a pole? How did you do that?
It's on a pole.
Is it on a pole like this, or is it on a piece, is it on a piece of wood?
4x4 with then a flag hanger attached to the 4x4.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna come talk to you.
You have to come over, Casey, and then you can see.
All right, step this way. And we're all gonna come. Tom, you got your camera? Kathy, could you take our picture?
I don't really need to speak, but here it goes. A certificate from the mayor, and I'm acting mayor, so I signed it for you. We'll step over here towards the. Ready? 1, 2. Thank you. All right, how about that? Next up for presentations, we have Harford County Annual Growth Report with Mr. Jeff with the G. Goins.
Good evening, Acting Mayor, members of council. Yes, so Chapter 2 of the City Code requires that the Director of Planning provide the Harford County Public Schools Capacity, Enrollment, and Projection Report each July, and this is from the Harford County Annual Growth Report, which can be found on the county's website under their Department of Planning, and there's a tab for Data and Reports. You can go there, and the full report is there in a PDF format. And so in regards to this report, there was a memo provided December 30th of last year from the previous planning director in which he outlines the percentages of the capacity, which I'll go through in just a moment. But I spoke to the school planner, and basically she says that this report comes out typically in December, and then it's not updated until the next December. So these numbers haven't changed since that memo was provided to you in December, but I will provide those again just for everyone's edification. So in terms of the Havre de Grace Elementary School, it's currently at 109% capacity, and it's projected to be at 111% in 2025. And then the other elementary school in the district is Meadowvale, and that's currently at 98% capacity, and it will be 99% capacity in 2025. And so these numbers are important because in Chapter 2, it's our adequate public facilities ordinance, and essentially if a school is at 110% capacity or greater, then essentially new subdivisions over 5 lots and multifamily 5 units or greater cannot be approved. They go into sort of a holding pattern until capacity is available at the school systems. However, if there is an adjacent school in an attendance area that is less than 110%, then that'll also pass adequate public facilities. So the next adjacent school is Roy Williams, and it's currently at 63% capacity, and in 2025 will be 64%. So for the developments that come through in the Havre de Grace Elementary School area, we can use Roy Williams as a school to meet adequate public facilities for those subdivisions and site plans that come through. In terms of the Havre de Grace Middle High School, it's currently at 90%, and that will remain at 90% in 2025. And so that essentially is the report. Currently 90. Any questions on that?
I actually had some questions real quick. So Roy Williams, you say, is currently at 63 with an anticipated growth to 65%. How did we arrive at the numbers for the anticipated? Because Aberdeen is just approved 811 new homes, I believe, all anticipated to go to Roy Williams.
Right, so the way adequate public facilities is set up is you currently look at what the capacity is in the approved school chart. So even though it doesn't take into consideration what's been approved, it's just what, in terms of development, site plan, subdivision, it's what the county school system has said this is what the capacity is at this moment in time.
Okay.
So it doesn't take into consideration what has been approved from a local jurisdiction in terms of a site plan or a subdivision.
I understand. It's just something we're really going to have to pay attention to in the future if we want to continue development in Havre de Grace with the houses we have slated to go. So, Council, do we have any comments or questions for Mr. Goins? None? Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Tonight we have resolutions, none. And then moving on to the legislation, ordinances. Next up, we have ordinance number 1195 concerning amending Chapter 25 Boards, Committees, and Commissions pertaining to the Arts Commission for second reading and adoption. Councilmember Jones.
Thank you. I move to introduce ordinance number 1195 concerning amending Chapter 25 Boards, Committees, and Commissions pertaining to the Arts Commission in the second reading. Second.
Council, it's been regularly moved and seconded to introduce the ordinance by Councilmember Jones, Councilmember Senegas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Carries 4-0. All right. An ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government's article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and Sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter to amend sections of Charter 25, Boards, Committees, and Commissions pertaining to the Arts Commissions. Let's see here. Council, do we have a motion to adopt ordinance number 1195 on second reading?
So moved.
Been regularly moved on by Councilmember Schneges and seconded by Councilmember Boyer. Questions or comments? Councilmember Jones.
Yes, just a reminder that this is reducing the number of individuals on the Arts Commission, so there'll be no fewer than 5 and no more than 11.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? All right, Council, roll call vote. Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
And Councilmember Schneges.
Yes.
All right, all voting in positive. Ordinance number 1195 is adopted on the second reading, 4-0. So let me see here. Next up, we have ordinance concerning amending Chapter 2, Adequate Public Facilities for first reading. And that is also Councilmember Jones.
Thank you. I've got all of them tonight, it looks like.
And quite a few.
I move to introduce an ordinance concerning amending Chapter 2, Adequate Public Facilities in the first reading.
Second.
Been regularly moved by Councilmember Jones and seconded by Councilmember Boyer. Let's see here. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? None. All right. An ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution and the local government articles of the Annotated Code of Maryland and Sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter to amend City Code Chapter 2, Adequate Public Facilities. Council, do I have a motion to adopt on first reading?
So moved.
All right, it's been regularly moved by Councilmember Schneges and seconded by Councilmember Jones. Questions or comments on ordinance 1196?
Did you give it a number?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is number 1196. I'm the new guy here. I'm just learning. I'm learning.
This ordinance is allowing DPW to waive adequate public facilities for public schools. We're building some new communities in the area, and as long as there is reassurance from the builder that they won't create, that the housing they create will be for seniors, this is allowing DPW to waive the public APF.
All right. Council, any other comments?
I just want to ask real quick to our Department of Planning Director, could you just talk a little bit more about how this would actually be implemented in regards to, could it be a homeowners association that would do this, or the developer? Who would come to City Council asking for a change?
I would anticipate it being a developer at the subdivision phase, but it could be really at any point in the process, I would think, yeah.
So it could potentially be a homeowners association at a certain point, maybe 15, 20 years in the future. They would have to come, in order to have the designation changed, they would have to come to City Council and make a request, and then we, City Council, would have to hear and agree to it. That's how it would work.
Well, because it's adequate public facilities, I'm not sure that a subdivision would come later on because they would have already been tested for that. So it's really something that's going to occur at the first phase of the development, the subdivision process, right? So I just couldn't see someone coming in later. There's really no benefit for them to do that. But in terms of the process, they would record it in land records.
I ask this because at one point, Bully Rock was supposed to be an age-restricted community, and it subsequently changed by the developers. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, April.
If I may, so you're correct. But the problem with Bully Rock is there were never declarations recorded in the land records requiring the age-restricted community. So what you have is someone marketing it or supposedly marketing it that way and then it not becoming that. So this would allow a developer that has in hand declarations and conditions saying this is 55 and over, and it would have to have an HOA to enforce it. Because the city's not in a position to do a wholesale overhaul of its zoning code to allow for age-restricted communities. We currently don't have it. We do have planned adult development, but that's an overlay, and that's what Bully Rock ended up being. It's not required to be age-restricted. So either within Bully Rock or in other developments, if they wanted to have an age-restricted community, it's one way to provide for alternate housing for seniors and also to not have them worry about the school impact on the APFO side. So basically, what we were looking at was the county just adopted a waiver of impact fees for schools for age-restricted communities. So it really is a pass-through of that requirement for APFO analysis to pass through to our community without having to overhaul our zoning code to allow it. So it would be really limited to HOA communities with deed restrictions approved by the Department of Planning, so that it would be consistent with what the county waives for school impact fees.
And we would require the HOA covenants to say that it's the HOA's responsibility to enforce the
Yes, and
age restriction?
that typically would be true anyway, but also that if it were to be revoked, it would have to be approved, the revocation would have to be approved by City Council so that we could reevaluate at the time of revocation if the schools are adequately met.
Okay, thank you very much. I would really appreciate in the minutes to this meeting that all of that be included for future use in case this ever comes up again.
Outstanding.
And
Yes.
just for clarification, the way that I had, it was explained to me that I understood was that Bully Rock is age targeted and not restricted. So that's where the difference comes in.
All right. Any other comments? All right. Roll call vote. Councilmember Ellis?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Shenegis?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
All right. Motion carries 4-0. 1196, first reading is adopted on first reading. The public hearing will be set on August 4th, 2025 at 7 p.m. All right. Next up, we have an ordinance concerning amending Chapter 25 to add new Article 11, number 11, Havre Grace Housing Authority for first reading, and that is me. I move to introduce the ordinance concerning amending Chapter 25 to add new Article 11, Havre Grace Housing Authority for first reading. So I made that motion.
Second?
Councilmember Schnegas seconded. Council, all in favor of introducing this ordinance, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0, yes. I introduced, but I didn't vote. I will read the header. This is an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E, and I said Article 11 earlier, it's Article 16, of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter to amend sections of Chapter 25, Boards and Committees and Commissions, by adding a new Article 16 pertaining to the Havre de Grace Housing Authority. See here. And I will assign this a number 1197. Council, do we have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
We're going to move by Councilmember Jones,
Second?
seconded by Councilmember Schnegas. Questions and comments? All right, I'm going to ask the city attorney to comment on this, if I could.
So this amendment is recommended by the city attorney in part because we have known over the years there's a Havre de Grace Housing Authority. What we didn't have in our city code was the method by which they were appointed. The state law requires the local executive to appoint the Housing Authority Board. So what this does is it puts in our city code the appointment authority that the mayor already has under state law, and it just codifies it. Without having it in our city code, over the years, what has happened is it has slipped through the cracks and has not been part of our regular appointment process, similar to the other appointments we did tonight for the other commissions. So this just puts in the city code what's already required by state law that the mayor is supposed to do.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? I would like to clarify, once again, it is ordinance concerning amending Chapter 25 to add new Article 16, Havre de Grace Housing Authority for first reading. Roll call vote, Councilmember Boyer? Yes. Councilmember Schnegas?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
And Councilmember Ellis?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 4-0, and ordinance number 1197 is adopted at first reading. And the public hearing for this is also August 4th at 7 p.m. Next on our list, we have an ordinance concerning amending Chapter 151, Signs, for first reading by Councilmember Jones.
I move to introduce an ordinance concerning amending Chapter 151, Signs, in the first reading.
All right, Council, it's been moved by Councilmember Jones. Do we have a second?
Second?
Second by Councilmember Schnegas. All those in favor to introduce ordinance on first reading?
Aye.
Say aye. Sorry.
Aye.
My fault. Those opposed? So motion carries 4-0. This will be ordinance 1198. An ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution and the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland and sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter to amend Chapter 151 signs. Council, do I have a member to adopt on first reading?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Jones.
Second?
Seconded by Councilmember Schnegas. Questions or comments?
When we first were discussing the sign ordinance many years ago, one of the things that was discussed was how can we make sure that as we move forward on Route 40, that we make it very clear that this is still a community and that this isn't just a through route or a truck route. And one of the ways that we discussed doing that was to limit the size of the signs. It was a very clear discussion that we had, not only during council, but also on the side, multiple discussions about it with Shane when we had meetings with him discussing the sign ordinance, as well as during our council sessions. So because of that, because I think it's so important for us to take this opportunity to pause and think about what we want Route 40 to look like. I personally don't want it to look like a truck stop. I don't think we need signs 20 feet in the air. I think everybody knows exactly where the businesses are, and they can read them at 10 feet. So I will be voting against it. Thank you.
Do you have any other comments from the council?
I wanted to ask Dr. Ritchie if he could talk a little bit more about this ordinance.
Yes, ma'am. So this is in part in response to the city council approved it a few council meetings ago, a request by Gavin Ells to reface a pre-existing sign that they had. And that sign was 20 feet tall. And so under the current code, that sign, the administration, the planning department was unable to grant that request, so it needed to come in front of city council to approve that sign being 20 feet. There are additional signs in the city along Route 40 that are in that same situation. So in part, this would help prevent whatever businesses goes in those locations from coming in and submitting the same request to the city. Thank you.
I just want to comment about the sign that you just mentioned. I can see it from my home, but it's also at a point in the city where it's kind of removed from Route 40. So people coming down Chapel and going up Ontario, you can see it in a good perspective. So it gives that business a chance, even though they're not right, the sign's not right on Route 40, it's back a bit. People can still see it coming from the different directions that we come into Route 40 from the community. So I know that I understand your concern, absolutely, but I know that there are some expectations for businesses that are, coming in and wanting to showcase who they are and to use what is already existing. So I think it's fair enough if it's already there to allow it, and just to negotiate when we do have businesses coming in during planning department meetings, negotiate the size of the sign. No?
If I may, the sign code says what it says, and the only way for the applicant to avoid whatever the sign code says is to get a variance from the Board of Appeals, and they have to show hardship. So it's very hard to get a variance from a sign ordinance to show hardship. And so if you look at the height of the signs along Route 40, 20 feet seemed reasonable with what's already existing. So it would be nice to have 10-foot, 5 and 10-foot signs like they have in Hilton Head, but we already have high signs. So these wouldn't exceed the 20 feet. I think the rationale was the 20 feet really doesn't exceed what's already there. But I was just giving you the rationale. But they can't currently, now Gavin Ells was an existing sign, so it was kind of a grandfathering provision. If they're coming in and putting a new sign in, they would have to comply with existing.
Thank you.
And as per the discussion that we had when we were originally doing the signs, the intent was for new signs. And there are certainly a lot of experiences, not just Hilton Head, but in other communities, less affluent communities, where smaller signs are just as effective. And that's what we were hoping to work towards, grandfathering in the pre-existing ones, but for future development, bringing it down to a car level viewpoint. Thank you.
Any other comments? Well, I will use my privilege as a council member to comment. I do definitely see the merit in both arguments, but I go down to visit my former council member, Mike Hitchings. His parents live down at Ponte Vedra Beach near Jacksonville. And one thing I hate about going down there, especially if you're driving, you got kids, you can't find anywhere to eat because the signs, they're so small, and you have to literally go into the shopping centers to see anything. And there's super restrictive communities in Arizona that have You know, like the McDonald's, you can't have yellow arches because it doesn't match the architecture, like stuff like that. And I think our sign code is definitely written well. There's been people currently asking for more electronic signs. We'll address that in the future. But the signs at 20 feet, I personally don't feel that they're that intrusive. You know, it's not, I've been on planning commission before where we had the doctor's office that's there that's now gone, where they asked for a 40-foot sign, and that one's way, way, way too high, and it's especially higher than what's there. But you take a look at the Harbor Freight across the street, or the Weiss sign, they're 20-foot signs, and we have a lot of 20-foot signs, and it seems to be what's standard along Route 40, and I don't find that a 20-foot sign is really going to be that intrusive. One reason why I'm in favor of it is because people constantly say that Havre de Grace is not friendly to business. And one issue that Wawa and Sheetz specifically asked when they wanted to come in here is that they wanted to have a 20-foot sign. And that's one of the things actually holding up Wawa, I think, that, the state administration, and a few things with our planning commission. But, you know, I'm in support of it, but I definitely see the merit of both sides of the argument. With that, I will call the vote. Roll call vote. Councilmember Shenegas.
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
And Councilmember Booker.
No.
Boyer,
Oh.
sorry, my fault. I took my glasses off. Councilmember Boyer.
No.
No, okay. All right, motion carries 3-1 on first reading. The public hearing is set for August 4th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Thank you so much, council. All right, moving right along. So, next up, we have an ordinance concerning amending Chapter 169, Stormwater Management, for first reading by Councilmember Jones.
I move to introduce an ordinance concerning amending Chapter 169, Stormwater Management, in the first reading.
All right, council. We have a motion by Councilmember Jones. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Shenegas. All those in favor to accept this ordinance for first reading, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries 4-0. The number will be ordinance number 1199. So, wow, we're up to 2,000 almost. And the header says, an ordinance by the mayor and city council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter to amend City Code Charter 169, Stormwater Management. Councils, do I have a motion to adopt this on first reading?
So moved.
So moved by Councilmember Jones. Do you have a second?
Second.
And seconded by Councilmember Shenegas. Questions and comments?
So this ordinance is expanding the storm management plan, which is currently 2 years, expanding it to 3 years.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. Do you have any other questions or comments? All right. So, let me see here. Council, we will have a roll call vote. Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
And Councilmember Shenegas?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Ordinance 1199 is adopted for first reading. Public hearing will be on August 4th at 7 p.m. I apologize if I got distracted. I think my son took my agenda and I have his because my notes on here are not here. So, no? All right, well, somebody has them. No, I apologize. Throughout the meeting, I think of things I want to say during council comments, and when we brought up stormwater management, I wanted to mention the rainfall recently, so I was looking at where to put it, and I didn't have it. All right, thank you for indulging me. Next up, we have also Councilmember Jones with ordinance concerning approving capital cost recovery fee credits in exchange for capital improvement to Graceview Tower for first reading.
Yes, I move to introduce an ordinance concerning improving capital cost recovery fee credits in exchange for capital improvements to Grace View Tower in the first reading.
Outstanding. Council, we have a motion to adopt this ordinance, first reading, by Councilmember Jones. Do we have a second?
Second?
Councilmember Shenegas gives a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries to introduce 4-0. And this will be ordinance 1200. An ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre, Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and Section 33 and 34 of the Havre Grace City Charter to approve capital cost recovery fee credits in exchange for capital improvement to Graceview Towers. Council, do I have a motion to adopt on first reading?
So moved.
Regularly moved by Councilmember Jones, seconded by Councilmember Ellis. Questions or comments?
I'm actually going to ask Attorney Eshak to talk a little bit about this one.
So if you remember thank you, Councilmember Jones. A few weeks ago, I guess it was last month, the council approved the memorandum of understanding with Bob Ward Trademark Homes for providing funding for improvements to Graceview Towers and possibly maintenance needed for the Northwest Regional and Native Dancer pump stations. So they have deposited the first amount, which was, I think, $950,000 towards that. And in exchange, rather than the city paying back the funds, we're granting them credits in the capital cost recovery fee. State law requires that because the capital cost recovery fees are adopted by ordinance, the only way to approve that payback would be by ordinance. So that's the purpose of the ordinance.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments about ordinance 1200? All right, roll call vote. Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
Councilmember Shenegas.
Yes.
And Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 4-0 to adopt ordinance 1200 for first reading. Public hearing will be on August 4th at 7 p.m. It's just interesting to me how fast we're moving, because I remember it wasn't too long ago, the city made a post on Facebook about we finally reached 1,000 ordinances, and in that time we're up to 1,200, and it wasn't that long ago. All right. Maybe we should think about starting to repeal some of these things. Next up for old business, we have ordinance number 1193 concerning amending Chapter 102, landscaping, for second reading by Councilmember Shenegas.
Thank you, council and audience. I move to introduce ordinance number 1193 concerning amending Chapter 102, landscape.
Councilmember Shenegas moved to introduce. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, Councilmember Boyer for second. Council has been regularly moved and seconded. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. So, an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre, Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and Sections 33 and 34 of the Havre, Grace City Charter to amend Chapter 102, landscaping. Council, do I have a member to adopt this on second reading?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Boyer. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Jones. Questions or comments? Did you want to read these all in, or I believe we can do this all by consent by what's submitted on the document. Can we do that by the?
I think that's up to council if they want to read them in specifically or just adopt because I think the proposed amendments are fairly comprehensive with the highlighting. It's up to council, though.
I would prefer us not reading it word for word, because I don't think it'd be really hard for people to follow. But maybe giving a summary of each of the amendments might be helpful.
That approved by council? That's okay with that? All right, I don't think we need a vote for that. That's council prerogative.
Alrighty then. Starting at line 36, instead of deleting subsection A, repeal and replace section 1026A with the following, including the 30 inches diameter for the mature trees. At line 52, the new sentence adding the words identify under paragraph A. On line 51, add the word mature to minimize mature tree loss. Line 53, replace the word city with director of planning. Line 55, replace the words public works with planning.
Line 53.
It says line 53, but actually it should be 55. The next line says 56, it should read 58. After the word all, add the word mature, and then after the word trees, remove the words and other vegetation, therefore to read all mature trees to be preserved under paragraph A of this section. Additional recommended amendments to section 102.3 are recommended by the Department of Planning for consistency with recently amended Chapter 81 Forest Conservation. And lastly, additional recommended amendment to section 102.3 scope, add a new paragraph D as follows. The landscaping requirements provided under this chapter do not apply to any area, lot, or parcel which is subject to pending subdivision or site plan review under Chapter 81 of the City Code. And that is a quick summary of what is being proposed tonight.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. All right, trying to get back here. Here, wrong one. There we go. Do we have any other questions or comments on ordinance 1193? All right, I have a roll call vote. Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Shanegas?
Yes?
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
And Councilmember Ellis?
No.
It's a no, okay. All right, the vote is 31. Ordinance 1193 is adopted at second reading. Thank you so much, Council. Next up, we have new business. And that would be special events with Dr. Ritchie, and I will say that I do not want to do this under consent calendar, and that will be evident here in just a second. Mr. Ritchie.
Thank you, Acting Mayor Ringsacher. So the first event that we have for council's consideration this evening is an event called Celebration of Life. And in your packet, you will see that they're requesting this to be held on August 16th. Setup begins at 5 p.m. The event starts at 6:30. Event ends at 8:30. And the breakdown is 9:15. And it is at Millard E. Tidings Memorial Park. And they are specifically requesting the gazebo. It is a concert, but I do not have any more information for you besides that, besides what's in your packet in front of you.
Before calling, do we have anybody from Celebration of Life from this event here in the audience to speak this evening? All right. Yes, ma'am.
My concern is that refuel for school is that day, 3 to 6.
So that would be after it, though, in a different location.
Yes, but it's just my concern that, there's going to be a lot of traffic coming in. And it's not in the same location, but, maybe it could be, advertised to, let people know that there's going to be a concert so that traffic can go in different directions. Because there might be families walking down, et cetera.
Well, my concern about this event is that we literally know nothing about it. Don't know if it's Celebration of Life for a specific person or for a group of people or what that is, and don't know much about it. And we have made several calls to the event organizers for more clarification. We do have a meeting in between now and then, so it can still be approved in time. So I'm personally going to ask council for a motion to table this event until we get further information, so I'll need a motion on that, if
So moved.
interested.
Second.
All right. It's been regularly moved and seconded to table this. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No question.
Yes, ma'am.
So they're asking for the use of the gazebo, the dedicated use of the gazebo for that day, but nothing would preclude them from, like what already happens is first come, first serve. If you're there at the gazebo, then, and set up, then you kind of, squatters' rights, right?
Correct. By going through a special event, it would exclude others, even if they happen to be set up before them or whatnot. This group could then come in and have that space for their event.
So we would set up signs philosophically for people saying don't use it? I mean, because, there are people that get there bright and early to get that gazebo.
I'm not sure if we have posted signage in the past related specifically to the gazebo. Normally, there's signs posted by the event sponsors advertising the event, and we found that there hasn't been a conflict with use of the gazebo when that happens. But if that were to be a problem or challenge, the city could post a sign or, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
See here. Cool. So is that, once again, is that a yes vote from you? Yes. Okay, so motion carries 4-0 to table this event, pending more information. We're not against it, we just don't really know what it is, and want to make sure that we have all the information before we vote on it. Mr. Ritchie, Dr. Ritchie.
Thank you. So this is a new event for your consideration, and I'm assuming it's not going to be a reoccurring one, or at least for a very long time. It is the Lafayette Farewell Tour in Havre de Grace. So on the 29th, the Good General is visiting us yet again, and there's a bunch of celebrations to be held throughout that day. But specifically for the council's consideration for this event application, it is only for the Concord Point Park. They're going to be setting up at 4:30 p.m. The event starts at 6:30. Estimating it'll end around 10 o'clock, and then breaking down at 10 p.m. So while there's many other events going on to celebrate the General's visit to Havre de Grace throughout the day, those aren't being done on, or I should say they're not, the event sponsor is not requesting exclusive use of other city parcels or property for that event, other than to use Concord Point Park for a concert and some fireworks to celebrate it.
Council, do we have a motion to accept, to approve this event?
So moved.
Second.
It's regularly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, we approved the event Lafayette Farewell Tour in Havre de Grace. You know, my wife asked me the other night we were driving, she asked why we're having fireworks for the Marquis de Lafayette. And I said, without on the Marquis and the other Frenchmen, we'd all be speaking English right now. And she told me I needed to brush up on my dad jokes. All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Ritchie, Dr. Ritchie.
Thank you. And the last event we have for this evening is the National Lighthouse Day 2025 to be held at Concord Point Park on August 7th. Setup begins at 2 p.m. The event starts at 4 p.m., ends at 8, breakdown at 10. And they are requesting, you'll see some no parking, and that is to accommodate some food trucks that they would like to have, and that's included in the map. But as you see, it's kind of right out in front of the park and in front of the Lighthouse Keeper's house on Concord Street. Thank you.
All right, council, do we have a motion to accept the National Lighthouse Day 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Seconded, moved by Councilmember Boyer, seconded by Councilmember Jones. All those of, questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you so much, Dr. Ritchie. And next we'll move on to direct reports, and I'll send this back to Dr. Ritchie.
Thank you, Acting Mayor Ringsacher, council members, colleagues, and citizens that are still with us in the audience. I would like to start off by offering some congratulations to Bambi Johnson, Barbara Hartzell, Bob Denton, and Caitlin O'Connor. They are the city's events team that not only manage many of the wonderful events that we do outside, but they also help run the Opera House and the Star Center. And this past Thursday was a outstanding show with Straight No Chaser performing. It was exceptional, and it was exceptional for a few reasons. So one, that if you ever have a chance to see Straight No Chaser, seize that opportunity and go and see them. They're just outstanding amongst themselves. But also, that was the day where we didn't have any electricity in the city of Havre de Grace from like 1 o'clock till like ? Depending on where you live. And a lot of uncertainty and panic and feverish work was going on, not just with that group, but also with some other people that work with the city. So I would like to point out Rodney Swam, who was just appointed earlier this evening. He is the electrician for the city, and he's a master electrician for a reason. He was very helpful in getting the auditorium portion of the venue hooked up to a generator to help us out. I also want to thank Naomi Wright and Mike Shipley, both from the Department of Public Works. That was like this trifecta of people working together to ensure that even if power wasn't restored to the Star, that concert would have still happened. And that was really something impressive to watch, and it speaks to the dedication of the people that we have here that work with the city and for the city. So I do want to thank Bambi's group and that team that helped execute a fantastic concert.
And was it sold out?
So that goes into my very next statement. So it was more than sold out. So apparently, the City of Havre de Grace Star Center has now hit the point in its existence where people are beginning to forge tickets and sell them online.
Get out.
Yeah, we had 14 tickets that were forged. They were fake tickets and sold online. The city's currently trying to work with those platforms that sold them and trying to find out kind of how that happened and all that stuff. So it was over full. A little bit of credit to Bambi and her team. They actually did accommodate the people that bought the forged tickets, and were able to provide them, unfortunately, just with folding chairs, but they were able to actually still listen to the concert. So kudos to her team for going above and beyond when you really don't have to in those type of situations. But yeah, so the only place to buy the real tickets to the City of Havre de Grace events is if you go to the Star Center's website, and it is starcentermd.com. And if you go there, you will have access. It'll forward you to the city's Eventbrite profile, and you can purchase the tickets there. But we actually had more than a sellout for the first time. So once again, we're looking into it. We're not really sure what occurred yet or who did this, but we are going to try and figure that out. So moving on, well, I guess continuing with the Star Center. So The Greatest Love of All, a tribute to Whitney Houston starring Belinda Davis, will be at the Star Center on August 1st. So that's kind of the next show at the Star Center between now and when we meet again at the next City Council meeting. And once again, you can learn more about all of the wonderful shows that they have coming up and purchase real tickets at starcentermd.com. And the Opera House on July 27th is hosting the American Friends of Lafayette as they present music from the life and tour of Lafayette. And you can purchase those tickets at havredegraceoperahouse.org. And then even though we just approved part of the event, I want to remind the citizens that the Lafayette Farewell Tour is July 29th, and different events are going to be held throughout the city that day at various locations, but it is kind of culminating with a concert and fireworks at Concord Point Park. and you can learn more about all of those wonderful things and all the other wonderful things that are happening in the city of Havre de Grace at explorehavredegrace.com. And that concludes my comments for the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ritchie. Council, do you have any questions for Dr. Ritchie this time? Jeff come up? All right. Next, we'll have the Director of Planning, Mr. Jeff Goins.
Thank you, Acting Mayor, members of council. Just an update on the July 17th Planning Commission meeting. The Sheetz gas station was approved, their site plan. And then we do not have any items on the August Board of Appeals or the Planning Commission meetings. So a nice reprieve for us from a busy few months of the planning department. So that's all I have this night.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. Next, we have, let's see here, Bridget Johnson, who's not here this evening. So we'll skip over to the Director of Finance, Mr. Abdul Abdi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Interim Mayor. Appreciate that. Rest of the council members and citizens of Havre de Grace. I'll go over the financial condition activity for our three funds, major funds, as of June 30th, 2025. So these are FY25 numbers. These are preliminary. We're going through an audit which should conclude October 31st. So these will be changing, and each time we have the council sessions, I'll update the citizens as well as the council members. Starting off with the general fund, the fund balance currently stands at $1,880,500, which is up since my last reporting of $29,200. Beginning fund balance has not changed. It currently stands at a little over $2.34 million. Revenues to date is currently stands at 27.6 million. I'm rounding here for brevity, which is up 1.7 million since my last reporting. Expenditures to date are a little over 28.1 million, which is up 1.7 million since my last reporting, which was June 16th. I want to conclude that one. On to the water and sewer fund. The fund balance currently stands at $5,405,700, which is down since my last reporting of $625,300. Beginning fund balance has not changed. Currently stands at a little over 1.7 million. Revenues to date are up 240,400 since my last reporting. It currently stands over a little over 18.9 million. Expenditures to date stand at 15.2 million, which is up since my last reporting of 829,700. Concluding my last fund, the Marina Fund, fund balance currently stands at 984,900, which is up 27,200 since my last reporting. Beginning balance has not changed. It currently stands at 761,900. Revenues to date are up since my last reporting 60,800, and currently stands at 841,400. Expenditures are up since last reporting 33,600, and it currently stands at to date 618,400. That concludes my fund activities for FY25. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Abdi. Any questions? All right. Mr. Joe Conway, you look well rested.
I am. Thank you. Acting Mayor, Council, colleagues, and guests. City contractor Crow's Nursery planted 25 2.5 to 3-inch caliper native trees last week at the 400, 600, 800 block of South Union, the 500 and 600 block of Revolution, and the 500 block of South Adams. This was a mixture of the American hawthorn, red maple, and American elm. We also plan to plant another 30 in late October. This is good news for Bully Rock Native Dancer. The Muffin Monster grinder pump was installed last week, which will be a huge help for the pump station there. Basically what the grinder pump does, it pulverizes rags, grease, what have you, wipes into fragments and almost like a puree, and it saves a lot of potential damage to the existing pumps. And one last note to let everybody know, especially everyone who plays golf at Bully Rock and likes to go home to Bully Rock from Route 40, starting in about 3 weeks, access will be closed for about 2 months as they redo the road from the culvert where the red light is to come in, all the way up past the clubhouse towards the gate. And that's my report.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much, sir. Trying to clarify some stuff here. That is Monday the 28th, though. Is it July? Oh, we'll talk about that. Oh, it does say June. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking on the explorehavregracemd.com for the walking tours, and it says on Monday, June 28th. Above it, it says July 20th, correct. I was just trying to fix that. And moving right along, we have Chief John Crass, Chief of Police.
Thank you, sir. Council members, citizens. It saddens me to report this, that Lieutenant William Johnson, retired from the Havre Grace Police Department, passed away on July the 11th. And for those of you that might not be familiar with him, he served honorably in the U.S. Army for a full career and then came to the Havre Grace Police Department and did a second career over 25 years. And anyway, he was a cherished member of our retirees, and I enjoyed seeing him every year at the Susquehanna Hose Company banquet. He attended there on a yearly basis, and we always sat together. And so this Thursday at McComas in Abingdon, from 2 to 4 and 7 to 9, there'll be a viewing, and then his funeral will be on Friday at 11 a.m. again at McComas. And so, our prayers and our thoughts go out to his family as they, as they're going through this. But we're going to remember him and his service to our community and the honor that he brought to our department. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and I'll second everything you said. That Bill Johnson was a great man, and I've known him for a long time, since I came to Havre Grace, and he's also the father-in-law of Bambi Johnson, as we mentioned earlier, and he was a great guy, and got to see him last year out at the wetlands, and it was nice being out there. So thank you so much. I'd like to add a little G onto here and call upon the city attorney. I'm a new guy here, so apparently I messed up, and we need to go back and vote on something.
So it appears that ordinance 1193, the amendments were approved, but we never adopted, the council did not adopt the actual ordinance as amended,
Okay.
at least as I heard the motion.
So I think how I actually did it was I adopted the motion without adopting the amendments.
Okay, so
I would see it.
if you want to redo both, that might be the best way to
We'll
clean
redo
up the
both.
record.
Okay.
So what you want to do is you want to do a motion to adopt ordinance 1193, then someone will move to adopt the amendments, you approve the amendments, and then you go back and approve the ordinance.
All right. I'll ask for a motion. Again, we had before Councilmember Shenanigans, Councilmember Boyer was adopted 4-0 to introduce ordinance 1193. Does that still stand?
Yes.
Council, is it still 4-0? All in favor?
Yes.
Aye? Yes, 4-0. Okay, we had the header read, and we had the motion to adopt was by Councilmember Boyer and Councilmember Jones. Let's see here. I think. Okay, so we had the introduction. Then we motioned to adopt. We had no from Ellis there, so we had 3-1 on to adopt. Does that still stand, Council, or do I need to count?
The motion to amend should have been before the motion to adopt, and the motion to adopt would be adopt as amended.
So I actually disagree with that, because it would be the motion to adopt would be Councilmember Boyer, Councilmember Jones, and then I would ask for the questions and comments, and that would come before the vote, so it's sort of in between there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we still have Councilmember Boyer and Councilmember Jones motion to adopt.
And she needs to motion to amend.
And she made the motion to amend. Now,
She hasn't.
did you make that a motion to amend? Never watch a sausage being made. It's horrible.
I make the motion to amend the ordinances presented for Chapter 102 landscaping.
Second.
All right. So it's been moved to adopt amendments and that is by Councilmember Shenanigans and Councilmember Boyer. Council, so I don't need a roll call vote for that. I need the voice vote for the amendments, correct?
I'm not sure about that one. I think we
Well, we're gonna
typically
do a
do, we
roll call
typically
vote.
do a roll call on that, though.
All right, for the amendments, Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
Yes. Councilmember Shenanigans.
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis.
No.
All right. Is a no. So the motion carries 3-0. And Ms. Brinkman, who's watching at home, I hope you got all that. So she does our meeting minutes. And she'll text me here in a second saying they did. Okay, so it's been passed that we accept the amendments, 3-0. And now I'm calling upon Councilmember Boyer, Councilmember Jones. We already have a motion to adopt for that. So I will do a roll call vote, unless there's any discussion from here on out. All right, roll call vote. Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
Councilmember Shenanigans.
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis.
No.
All right, we got that. So now, ordinance number 1193 concerning amending Chapter 102 landscaping for second reading is adopted, and that's why I am never running for mayor.
So, just double checking here real quick. So, we just said that
We just did everything
the
exactly the
amendment
same way we accepted
is
the
3-1, and then the final is 3-1.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. I just want to remind Councilmember Boker that I am the funny one. So, all right, now moving right along, business from council. Councilmember Shenanigans. Welcome.
Thank you, Council President, Mayor, and council members, administration, and those of you in the audience and at home. It's been a lovely summer, many events going on. I had the opportunity to go to 2 events in town, one at the Star Center this weekend. I got to see the Beatles tribute, and it was amazing. The sound system was awesome, and it was just great to see people out and about enjoying the tunes of the past in a very beautiful environment that's been restored so that our town can bring more music and more entertainment to Havre de Grace. Also, I attended a luau at the Legion, and that was put on by our former council member Jason Robertson, and as the new commander, incoming commander over there. He's put a team together. They're doing a fabulous job promoting all the events over there. It was very well attended by the city citizens and people coming in from town. Even people were driving their boats up to the luau. So keep an eye out for great things happening over at the Legion. And if you are still in the mood for music, find your way to the Concerts in the Park this coming Friday, July 25th at 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. You'll be able to hear the back to the beach breezy sounds of yacht rock. Please know it's a free event. You can bring your lawn chairs, bring snacks if you like, and enjoy your time with this band coming in. This is also tributed to the Arts Commission and their planning and putting it together, and they have done a really good job with making sure that everyone feels welcome and safe. So thank you very much, and I look. And yes, it is the last one of the summer. Thank you. And I just hope that everybody, gets a chance to come out for one last time. And we will hope to see you also at the Lafayette Tour this coming Tuesday, the 27th, 4 to 8 p.m. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Back to you, CP Mayor.
Thank you so much. All right, Councilmember Boker is not here, so I'll go on to Councilmember Ellis.
Good evening, council. And department heads, thank you for being here, citizens as well. I'm going to be brief. August 16th at 3 to 6 p.m. is the Refuel for School event at Cocker Point Park. I've been a part of it for about 3 years now, and being a part of it is definitely fun, seeing the kids get school supplies that they may not otherwise be able to get. And this year we got a huge partner from the Emmanuel Quickly Foundation. So this year is going to be bigger and better than ever. We definitely need some volunteers, whether that's day of, day before, etc. We're going to need help organizing, packing bags. Anything that you guys can do would be greatly appreciated. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If somebody was to volunteer, who do they reach out to?
You can reach out to myself or the Youth Commission. They hdgyouth.org, or they have a Facebook page as well, Havre Grace Youth Commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Councilmember Jones.
Thank you. And it's great to see so many folks still in the audience this evening. I'll keep it brief as well. One, as a reminder, August 9th is the Colored School, the Havre Grace Colored Schools Jazz Festival. They have it every year. This year, every year they have Saxel Rose there, and I think that if you follow him, you've seen that he's really starting to explode on a national level, so that's pretty fun to see. And, you know, he's a great guy and his family, so if you can, come out and support that festival, or that festival every year, that they have every year. And then lastly, I'll say that I hate that I will miss the Lafayette Farewell Tour. I will be with my mother and looking at all the photos and participating from afar. But I just wanted folks to know that I will be thinking of you that day, but I will not be able to attend. And that's it for me.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Boyer.
Thank you, Mayor and waiting. No, Mr. Everything today, right?
That's right.
And thank you all for, like, the back row. We have a back row now. They can do with a wave or something like that. So I just want to first say, I know a lot of people had a lot of concerns in regards to the trees that had come down. One of the things within Havre Grace that we take very seriously is our tree canopy along our streets. And there are some trees that have reached the end of life. And thankfully to our DPW guys, and specifically Joe over here, they've nursed them along for about as long as we could possibly nurse them along. And we're going to see some significant trees, some significant holes. There's one in particular, like, I really don't know how you guys are keeping it going. It down across from, I don't even know where to say. It looks like it's barely hanging on as a tree, but we will be having a lot of holes. But as you've heard from Joe, we've just planted 25. Joe, in total in the past 5 years, we, the city, have planted 500 trees. So we take this extremely seriously. And if you, the homeowner, would like to help out, there are a couple of things we need you to do. If you see ivy growing up along one of the street trees, please tear that ivy away. It will choke the tree and it will lead to its demise faster than we need it to. So that's number one. Number two, if you would like to plant a tree or have a tree planted along your front yard or side yard, please reach out to DPW. It's very important to plant the right tree at the right place, and they will work with you, absolutely. I also want to encourage anybody who has a connection to any of the businesses along Revolution especially, to encourage them to plant trees. That entrance into our city is a pretty bleak entrance, and it's amazing how simple it is to plant a tree. It makes a huge difference coming in. So if you have any connections there, please encourage them to plant a couple of strategically placed trees along that area. That area also has a couple of trees, especially by the ballpark, that are probably at end of life as well, that look like they should be coming down sometime soon. And finally, I attended a community liaison meeting at the Ambulance Corps on the 15th with Vulcan, and I just want to express my appreciation to Vulcan for reaching out to the community and actively trying to start up the community liaison committee. there's a lot to do. I think there's a lot of communication that needs to happen. The sequence of events that took place earlier in this year in regards to the legislation at the county level really should not have happened in that way. We should have had that communication going on within the community, and I believe having this type of committee in place will do a lot of good to help repair that relationship. Vulcan has been a great partner to the city of Havre Grace, and they do a lot of work to try to minimize the impact. And I believe all of the effort, all the work that they do, to their scientific approach to how they do their job, by not communicating it clearly with the community, it's just a loss of opportunity. And again, this committee would do a great job. I want to encourage the people who live not only within or along the boundary of Vulcan to get involved, but also those who live just a little bit further out to be aware of this committee and ask questions. And when there's an opportunity to go for a tour of Vulcan, or if there's a community outreach session to learn more about what they do, please get involved, because we all hear the booms, and that it'll explain a little bit of the information. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Boyer. Next on for Council President Ringsager, Acting Mayor. First off, I would like to start by giving a shout out to my young daughter, Sydney, and welcome her back from Scout Camp, where she endured mild weather, bad food, and bears. So she was up at Resca Falls, up in the Poconos. They actually had bears in their campsite. It was pretty cool, but they named it Pistachio because he broke into a cooler and ate pistachios out of a campsite. But I want to congratulate her for making first class as a scout there, and she's a late bloomer, late starter for scouts. To make first class so quick is an amazing feat, and so she's well on her way to Eagle, and we know she'll get there. So congratulations. I want to mention something. Pet peeve of mine is the rules of debate that are just completely missed over. Last meeting was borderline atrocity. Some of the comments and the way it was handled and everything, not by us, but by some of the people. I'm not discounting any of the citizens that came or their feelings or anything, but some of the rules of debate. One of the things that you're always taught is to avoid logical fallacies, and one of them that I really hate is ad hominem attacks, and that's where you don't attack the argument, you attack the person. And one of the points of debate is you're supposed to be winning that person to your side, and if you have to make personal attacks, you've already lost the argument. And so it was said that I looked disinterested while I was up here. I was interested. It's just I was less compassionate than it would have been, because 20 minutes before the crowd came in, they were at Coakley's literally calling us pejoratives. And I say us as the council members. And it was not appreciated. And, of course, we know this because people tell us. But it was amazing to see the involvement of the city, of the actual members of the city. I'm not talking about everybody came from York or Baltimore or anything else. I'm talking about the actual citizens, because another comment was made is about how I seemed like I was on my phone the entire time. Well, I was, because members of the community were constantly texting me and asking me questions and asking me what can we do to save the state and everything else. And it all came down to being completely out of our hands, because the state 2 days afterwards closed up their doors, put it on Facebook, and I won't air their business, but had nothing to do with the city. So we gave them every opportunity. We gave them way more opportunity than we should have, and the way it was handled on their part, I got to say, I was a little offended, but you know, it's the way it is. It's the way it's got to be, I guess, and we'll move on, and another business will move in there, and we'll try to help them as well as we will any other business in Havre, guys. Moving on to other ad hominem attacks is the rainstorm we had this past week. Really bad, or I guess last week, the storming and everything else, and you get comments saying, the city doesn't care about their people, and we need to get rid of the council because this flooding needs to be fixed. They won't do anything, and they're lazy, and they won't They won't put in any storm mitigation and everything. Man, they can't be further from the truth. I can't tell you how much time I've spent up here working out plans, trying to figure out where can we dig, where can we put stormwater management ponds, what property can we buy, what can we do, how can we work with the state to get more MS4 credits, and how can we sell MS4 credits to the county and allow us to use those credits and those projects in the city. How can we do the living shoreline and put in retention, those ponds there that help filter out the trash when we do have flooding. And I've lived here since I was a kid, and I tell you, the flooding is considerably less than it ever was. We had a freak storm. It was like there was a foot of water on the bridge. We got 3 inches of water in a rainstorm, and that's pretty much a freak storm, I'd say. There's only so much we can do, but we're trying. We're doing everything we can. And the comment was made about how the last time during the OPAC comments, the question was asked about flood insurance, and I said that I don't need flood insurance because I know that it floods downtown along Lily Run, so I didn't buy a house there. Linda Packard, a wonderful woman who's served on many commissions with me, told me when I was running that if a politician ever tells you that they're going to fix the Lily Run, don't vote for them, because we've been trying. We live in a historic town that is right about sea level. We're not gonna make great strides, but we're gonna make motions. We're gonna move along. We're gonna make progress. We're gonna do every single thing we can to try to stop the flooding. And we've done a lot of projects, have we not, Joe?
Yeah, correct.
We've done so many projects. You go over there by Andrew's garage. You look at the work done there to help some of the flooding. And we bought the property behind Dr. Jaffe, thank you. Dr. Jaffe's property. I was just thinking about Dr. Silverstein because it was his birthday. Happy birthday, Louis. But bought the property behind Dr. Jaffe's office so we could put a big retention pond there to absorb some of the water and the overflow to reduce some of the flooding. But you notice that flooding didn't last long. It used to last, like literally, we'd have the street shut down for a day or two, sometimes 3. Later that evening, most of the streets were open because of that work we've done in diverting the water and getting that water out of there and doing a lot of work. So, attacking us for not caring and saying we don't do anything, just study up on your facts. And I would like to end with mentioning the passing of a community pillar, Jesse Shanks. He's a dear friend of mine. He's past master of Jesse Shanks Lodge here in Havre de Grace. And he was, at the time, up until Saturday, he was the only living person in the state of Maryland to have a Masonic lodge named after him. And he actually has 2. He has Jesse Shanks Lodge here in Havre de Grace and one over in Germany that he was there. And so he and I, 20 years ago this year, when I was worshipful master of the Masonic Lodge, he and I worked together and we broke down the racial barriers between the what's traditionally the white and the black lodge, and now we've joined together. We recognize each other, and we can go and visit and be with each other. And that was the first time we actually gave formal recognition, and I made Jesse Shanks an honorary member of my lodge, and he'll be sorely missed. And with that, I ask for a motion to adjourn. What? Yes, I'm sorry. Oh yes, and passing of Joe Kay. I didn't mention Joe Kay. I thought that. So Joe Kay, a former city council member here and one of my scout members. See, I told you, I don't have my stuff I actually wrote down earlier. He was actually one of the committee members of my scout troop, recently passed, and after a long battle with cancer. And, Joe, you'll know him. If you look back many years, he was always sitting right about where Chip Place is there. And he would always have comments, and he would read them, and he's probably the reason why we came up with the 3-minute time limit. But he was always diligent in volunteering at the museum, the Lock House Museum, and the Joe Kay Trail. We named it after him, and he was constantly out there giving tours and helping people. He was a diligent scoutmaster and a scout leader, and he was a great council member for many, many years. And he wrote a letter of recommendation for me to get into college because I didn't have the best grades. But he was a good man, and he will definitely be missed. And I'm gonna miss getting the emails we would get all the time explaining everything. And then I'm trying to pick apart his argument, and sometimes I just couldn't. But Joe Kay, you'll be missed, buddy. With that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, moved by Councilmember Boyer, seconded by Councilmember Jones. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Time is now 8:51.